Hello and welcome back to CCR Community. Today we're going to have Rob Comerer in a new series called Play Better Golf.
Thank you for joining me today for this week's episode of Play Better Golf. As you know, I'm changing the videos up a little bit, and we're going to be a little bit more encompassing and maybe a little bit less on technique and some more practice theory to help you play better golf on the course. So what are we working on today? As you can see, I'm about 40 yards away from the green, and we're talking about how to hit a variety of shots into the green. So I hear a lot of comments saying, oh, well, I just grabbed my sand wedge, or, you know, it doesn't matter, I just grab my pitching wedge and I hit that shot. And that just triggers a little bit of a concern in my ear, because we have 14 clubs in our bag. And I mean, we wouldn't be using our driver for this, but I mean, you have 4 or 5, you know, wedges, pitching wedge, 9-iron, 8-iron, and you get a variety of lofts. You can launch it high, you can get it low, and I want everybody to be able to have all of those weapons and tools available to hit a variety of shots. So if you need a high shot, then yes, go for the high shot. If you don't need it, then go to the low shot. So how are we going to practice this? I have a higher lofted wedge, I have my 56 degree, I have a pitching wedge, and then I have an 8-iron. So I'm going to stay at one distance. I'm about 40 yards away. I'm going to hit all 3 shots, one each with each of these golf clubs, and I'm going to see how well I do with each one. And then I'm just going to take a mental note and say, all right, well, this worked the best for this situation. However, you know, you're going to be faced with a lot of different situations on the golf course. So you want to be working with all of these golf clubs so you know which one to pull out, so you're not constantly going for the same golf club every single scenario, because it might not give you the best result. So stick with me here. I'm going to hit a couple of these shots. Okay, so we're going to start with our lowest lofted golf club. Okay, so for me in this situation, I'm going to use an 8-iron. So I'm going to step up from my 40-yard distance. I'm just going to hit my shot. I'm going to see the height, how far it goes, and how much roll it gets. So as you can see, that stayed really low to the ground, and then it rolled out to the hole. A lot like that bump and run shot we were working on. So if you're further away from the hole and you don't have to hit that high shot in, maybe you can hit one that goes just a little bit lower and is rolling up to the hole to get you within your comfort distance. My second shot here, I'm going to pick my middle golf club, and for today that's my pitching wedge. So I wanted to go from the easiest shot to the hardest shot. 8-iron has less loft, so it's going to take less golf swing to get it there. Pitching wedge has a little bit more loft to it, so it's going to raise the difficulty just a little bit, because I have to make a slightly longer golf swing. But what we should see is a higher ball flight and a little less roll. There we go. So instead of having that 8-iron stay low the whole time, very low to the ground and rolling quite a bit, this one I actually carried it all the way to the front of the green and then let it roll out the rest of the way to the hole. All right, so for my last shot, I'm grabbing my 56 degree wedge. That will obviously give me my highest shot into the green, so I'm going to have to increase the length of my swing a little bit, and I'm going to have to hit it further up on the green, so that also raises the difficulty of the golf shot. Okay, so when we get into this, let's make sure we have that good sternum rotation through, so we don't extend our arms and our hands at it. When our sternum stops moving, arms and hands extend, and that's where a lot of people see that chunky golf shot. So let's hit this one. There we go. And as you can see, I carried that one further onto the green. It had a lot less roll and it went a lot higher. The big thing that I did, I kept my sternum moving once again so that I didn't have that poor ground contact. So why is this helpful and why is this beneficial? Well, we need to be able to visually see the different launches that we have on each of those golf clubs. As you know, I started with the 8-iron. I went from low to high, or easiest difficulty to most difficult. And I'm going to challenge everybody. I want to see everybody do this from, let's say, 10 to 15 yards away, all the way out to 30, 40, 50 yards, and use a variety of golf clubs. Use your 7-iron, 9-iron, lob wedge, sand wedge, gap wedge if you have one, because what you need to do is feel comfortable with all of those golf clubs in the bag in order to help you play better golf. Thanks again for joining me on this week's episode of Play Better Golf. If you noticed, I was over on the Brookside practice holes. That drill sequence that we just went through with your wedges and being closer to the green and analyzing your launches and roll patterns and all of that, that's a great spot to be able to do that. It's a little less busy than the golf course, and you can throw a couple golf balls down and you can work your way through it. I mean, we got 3 holes over there, so it's wonderful. So I highly encourage everybody to take good use of the practice facility we have in order for you to play better golf. Thanks for joining me again. Please be well and stay safe. I'll see everybody next week.
Remember to stay tuned each Friday for Rob Comerer and Play Better Golf.